back to another episode of the English Prescription. Tonight we got a good one. We got, fortunately, no John tonight. He's got some stuff he had to take care of, but we got Shane.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, buddy?
Crashing in the background back there.
Nothing.
Sound like the house was falling down.
Oh, no, it's wife and the ice maker, so.
That's funny. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, man.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all recovered from that fishing Saturday?
That was fun.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad at all. So.
Nope. Guys, don't forget the BAM Delta kayak series is this weekend.
Thank you.
There's 7 or 8 approved launches. So don't forget to sign up. Go fish that this weekend. It's our last event before the No Entry Fee Championship at Berryessa at the end of the month.
TOC.
So if you're on the edge of making it and you get some points made up, get out there and fish it. Unfortunately, I've got some other commitments I got to do this weekend, so I will not be fishing. But I think
That's
I'll
a
be
bummer.
all right.
Maybe I'll have a chance now that you're not in the field.
I think I should have enough of my points to make the championship. So, but,
yeah, get signed up. That way, Bray could be all prepared and stuff for the weekend. You know, it's kind of stinks when everyone signs up last minute. You know,
you got to sign up at bamtrail.com. Click on the kayak tab under the main menu. Delta, register, pay your entry fee there. They'll put you on Tourney X, so you guys don't have to worry about that. It may take a couple days for you to pop up there, but they'll get you all squared away with that. Don't forget to check out headwatersadventurecompany.com. The store in Reading, store in Rancho. They got plenty of Old Towns, Hobies, Crescents, Eddy Lines. All you whitewater guys, they got all kinds of nifty stuff over there for you guys as well.
They got a ton of Old Towns from what I hear. So.
All your Yak Attack accessories, NRS stuff. I mean, you guys need it. They got it. Go check them out. And Hooked 44, hookedforlife.com. Save yourself 10%, $50. Shipping is free. They ship super fast in this area. You usually get it within 2 days or so, depending upon when you order it. So don't forget about that.
In my case, I usually get it the next day.
Yeah. Enough of that nonsense tonight. We're joined by Nick Cloutier. If you guys don't know him, you've been living under a rock. Good evening, Nick.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just hanging in there. Trying to get ready for all the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. If you guys don't know Nick, then we'll get to know him now. So Nick's he's a local-ish guy, Northern California guy, Delta rat. Been fishing pro level for how long now, Nick?
10 to 12 years-ish.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Give us a little backstory, bud. What got you into it?
That's some experience right there.
Yeah, it is.
No, what got me into it, I used to fish a lot when I was younger, with my grandpa, my brother, and stuff like that. It was just kind of a passion that we had, nothing serious, a lot of trout fishing, stuff like that. I used to race motocross a lot when I was younger. And then my older brother, who actually owns the Bass Hole Tackle Shop here in Bethel Island, me and him, that was like our thing. He didn't race dirt bikes. That was like our thing that we did together. We fished all the time. And it was mainly trout. And then, once I was getting older and I got into a couple pretty bad accidents racing, where I ended up having to hang it up. I broke my lower back, and then right when I got back into racing again, I snapped my wrist like a twig, like the first ride back. So, and by then I was in my 20s by then. But I was 18-ish. And then, so the competitiveness, I was like, okay, I'm not racing anymore. I always watched tournament fishing, stuff like that. And so me and my brother started getting into bass fishing. And then I think I was like 18 or so. I got my first bass boat. It was a Ranger 462 VS. I think it was a 1998. And so I started jumping in any tournament out of Russo's. I'd go down there and check out the schedule. And then, I'd hop in them. And I thought I would do pretty decent. I could catch fish out there when I was younger, but I wasn't 100% sure on what these guys were weighing in until the first like 2 years when I was just getting my teeth kicked in. These guys I'd come in with like 13 pounds and they'd have like 33, 35, 36. And I was, easy. So I stuck with it, and I was out almost like every day trying to figure out how these guys are catching them and, exploring the river. And then, after years, I was very fortunate at that time that I could spend the time out there to learn. And over the years, I just started, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, with punching, flipping, frogging, chatterbaits and everything. And just over years, I was always on the Delta. I never really branched out. I was always fishing the Delta because it was in my backyard. I didn't have a whole lot of money. So it wasn't till, a few years, probably 8 years or so after that, I started branching out to fishing lakes. I think the first lake I took my bass boat to was Clear Lake. And I had no idea what I was doing. And then over the years, just jumping into tournaments. And then I started fishing on the pro side of MLFs. But back then it was FLWs on the river. And then, the Pro-Ams started coming about. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start doing it. And I'm going to start fishing lakes. And it was the same thing. When I started fishing the lakes is when I started fishing the Delta, just getting my teeth kicked in by everybody. And so I just spent the time, spent a lot of time on lakes, building my confidence and using lighter lines, getting away from braids and stuff like that from fishing the river. And and here I am today. I felt like I could do pretty well on lakes. I've learned a lot over the years. Actually, at this point in my life, I prefer fishing the lakes. It's actually real. I can go to a spot where I was catching them, a couple of weeks ago, and the fish don't move very far compared to where the Delta I go out now, and it's okay. There's a whole herd of sea lions there now. There's a spray boat that absolutely destroyed my spot. The wind blew from the north, and all my mats are gone. So it's just refreshing to go to the lakes and technology, what it is today. I've really come a long way in actually learning it and understanding what I'm looking at, So it's been a long learning curve, but if you put the work in, it all comes together eventually.
Yeah. Now, speaking of technology and the recent, I'd say, news that dropped with the NPFL,
yeah.
You think that's going to trickle down? You think that's a mistake? I think it's a mistake. I think it's a tool that we all can use. We're not going to get in the whole debate. We all use it.
So my stance on it, the way I see it, and I'm going to try to be as nice about it as I can.
Yeah.
It's a tool. You know what I mean? It does not. It helps you locate fish, and trust me, it's way easier to know what you're looking at. I'm not going to take away from that. It's super easy. You still have to catch them.
Yep.
You still have to understand fish activity while you're using it. You could see a school of fish and bring your crankbait through it. But if you're not understanding why they're not eating it or changing your bait or, actually looking at the fish activity when you're fishing it, it's almost useless in that sense. You could locate them, but if you're not actually adapting to fish activity, then all you're doing is locate. So I think
no different than a 2D, no different than side scan.
It's just more advanced. You're seeing it in real time.
Yep.
I think they're tending to a lot of the older generation with it. And I think personally, they need to let that go. I know the older generation paved it and those guys have, done their thing, but why not make room for the younger generation to take over? You know what I mean?
Well,
That's my aspect of it.
And even like you talk about the older generation, right? Rick Clunn was learning how to use it. There's a lot, he's probably one of he is the oldest professional angler that was out there. That man's still trying to learn it and figure it out and use it and be smart with it, help him try to catch fish.
Now, I don't know if that's televised event, but I think a biggest gripe really out there, and again, not to open the whole debate about it and everything. I think a lot of it has to do with just the viewership,
Yeah, but has the viewership really fallen?
That I don't know, but I do, you see it on social media all the time. These people complaining that they're watching some guy look at a screen the whole time.
But, they're up there fishing, and for smallmouth, they're going to be looking at their 2D, looking down, and video game fishing anyway.
No, I trust me, I get it, but I think it, there's a line there where.
Yeah, and I think the problem is you always hear more of the negative side of things because they're going to be the ones that are most boisterous about it, right?
Well, of course.
You're not going to hear the guys that don't care one way or another. They're not going to get on social media and be like, "Hey, you idiots, this thing's blah blah blah." They're like, they're catching fish, right? That's what we want to see them do. Who wants to see them stare at a graph and not catch fish, right? You want to see that.
It's not like it's not available for everybody. That's the other thing. It's not like they have some secret device that's just having fish flopping.
Sure.
It's available for anybody to purchase.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you learn how to use it correctly. And when I fish shallow, I barely use it. Like I said, was telling you earlier, I was at Clear Lake. I have it on, but I'm not staring at it the whole time. When I fish shallow, if I'm fishing wintertime and deep and stuff like that, yeah, absolutely. But it's a tool, just like at work. If you get a new tool at work, right? And some guy comes in, say you guys all using hand saws. Oh, well, the skill saw came out. Dude over here cuts his hand off. Now we all have to stop using them. You know what I mean? Just because someone, a couple people don't know how to use it correctly, we're going to take it away from everybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I say, I was up at Clear Lake, was a month or so ago, and I was fishing, 10 feet or less, but I had a nice little drop off where I was at. And I just left it panned out just deep. I'd glance at it every once in a while, be like, oh, there's a couple fish out there, and make cast at them, or there's a rock pile there I didn't see, or. Which you're going to see that on your side scan anyway. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a tool. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off topic. I'm sorry. Derailed my own show, right? What are we doing here? But yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. I'm really curious to see what Bass and MLF is going to come out and say in light of all that. So I don't think I've seen
I hope it doesn't trickle down.
No. But it just sucks because you do have a major tournament series banning it for the year, and there will be some trickle down effect, I'm sure. Some series somewhere are going to be like, oh, they did it, now we're going to do it.
If anything, not take it away, but maybe limit, the amount of transducers you may have, the 6 screens that you have. But then again, if a guy wants to use 6 screens, those 6 screens are available to the next guy. So it's hard to say, let's just take away everything. I mean, at what point, you're just going to end up taking away all of it and just saying, go blind. It's just, I don't know. I don't think that's the right move.
I get an idea, the idea about the limit of inches of screens you can have on the boat. And, you don't want to have somebody with a big old 16-inch graph right in front of their console. They can't see over it when they're doing 70 miles an hour down the lake either.
Yeah,
so I tell you
ridiculous.
I tell you what, guys, when we're out in our kayaks, right? We got our little flags up, we got our little lights on, and you know, I ended up buying a bright orange kayak. So at least, A, it was the only color you had when I got it. B, I'm glad I did because it actually sticks out away from the water. So I was on a boat with a buddy of mine out Folsom the other day, and there was a kayak there. It was blue, kind of blended into the water. He had his little flag up, safety flag up, and you don't realize how much
Tiny.
you don't see them when you're like we, you know, we're sitting in there like, oh, the boat sees us. They probably don't. Like 9 times out of 10, they don't see you until they're up close to you. So I see by having that screen limit, you know, and not blocking your view while you're driving is a key thing that should happen.
You're tiny out there.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because like just think about that, guys. If you're out there on the lake or you're in the Delta, you're like, oh, that boat sees me. He may not, dude. I've had some boats on the Delta come right at me where I've stood up, like waving my arms, and like it finally changes, you know, veers off and changes course. But like, dude, you know, I'm thinking, how did you not see me? Well, you know, I'm not a little dude by any means, but you sure are a little on the water, especially when your kayak's blue and you blend in with it. So
yeah, I can see that.
Something to think about. So that little orange Yak Attack flag is not that big. I mean, in the grand scheme of things.
Nope.
Yeah, especially if you're running down the river or something with no glasses on, wind blowing in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Sun in your eyes.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever, you know, come around a blind corner and
22-inch screen in your face.
That's what makes me nervous about the Delta is coming around a blind corner.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes me the most nervous out there.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. It's a sketchy place.
It can be. I'd be nervous just to run the boat 70 miles an hour out there. You never know what's going to have shifted or moved, or if you don't know it very well, what gravel bar you might find, or
peat moss clumps that appear and disappear in Frank's track.
Yeah,
those scare me the most.
Mm-hmm.
So you're fishing. You fished pro-ams for BAM this year. You've done the Pro Tour for BAM, which you're sitting in 4th place in AOI.
Nice.
Mr. Pearson, if there's a possibility, a way to do it.
I think you have to get last and not have to get first at Thermalito, which I don't think he's going to get last.
When's the Thermalito event?
It's in like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, it's coming up pretty soon.
Thank God it's not in November in the middle of duck season and foggy. We had that experience one year.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Wasn't that the TOC? Was that the TOC?
That was the TOC. There was guys getting shot. The guys were shooting ducks over everybody's heads. It was a wild
getting pelted.
It was foggy as all could be. It was insane.
So I'll just say this now. I am in off limits period for that event, so I can't.
Okay. I got you.
Get any information or anything like that. Yeah. So I just want to put that out there before.
No.
That's all I was going with this. Thank God it's not November and foggy and duck season.
Yeah,
that was pretty western out there, man. It really was.
I can imagine.
Yep. So and then you did some MLFs this year, right?
Yeah, I did the MLF on the Delta. Where I came home from somewhere, and I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to kind of sit it out, but I want to win one of those on the river really bad, so I ended up jumping in it. Had a rough first day, had a great second day, and then an okay third day. So it's a tricky one to win, that's for sure. The Delta's a hard place to win in a 3-day event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say it's one of the hardest places to win a multiple day event in California. I'd probably put that hands down.
I can see that. Any aspirations at one point to go national? I know you got a couple little kids running around, but once they get bigger?
A while back, I'd say yeah. But at this point in my life, no, I'm fine where I'm at. You know, who's who's to say the future? But
Yeah.
right now, with what Mark and at BAM and everything's got going on, and my job, my kids, my family, you know what I mean? I'm pretty much staying here. A couple of years
Yeah.
ago, I said, yeah, absolutely. I'd try, but money wise, and in
Oh, yeah.
today's day and age, it's almost impossible for a single working family to just
Yeah.
uproot and move back east without a tremendous
yeah.
amount of financial help. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
I'm
think
good where
Mark, yeah, and Mark's doing some good stuff out here. I really like what he's doing with BAM. He's taking it to the next level. The kayak scene hopefully will follow suit if you get you guys off your couches and come fish the BAM tournaments and show some support. I mean, it's what was it, 80% payback. He's got a holdover for TOC pot, so we have a no entry fee championship on ours. And then he's got AOIs getting some money that gets held back after every event. You're leaving the ramps. We're leaving ramps with checks in our hands.
Yeah.
And the payouts are good. I mean, they're good. They're
super nice to leave an event with a check.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole waiting for it to gig wage or Venmo or whatever, I hated that. I like the old school where you'd leave the ramp with cash or you leave the ramp with a check.
Yep. I'm still waiting on some money in the gig wage that I don't think I'll ever see.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, well, along with a lot of other people.
Well, with what he's doing, he's definitely. I mean, he's on the right track to help grow the West Coast out here. He's on track. So
he's got some big names fishing his stuff too. Ish is doing it all. You can all the local West Coast guys that are the hammers out here on the boats. I mean, he's building something that's really good. Speaking of that, Super
and
60
Mark is a fisherman. Mark's been around a long time.
Oh yeah.
And I know he's, from fishing the events this year and knowing Mark, I just wish that guys would get off of the sour taste of what happened prior to what Mark did.
Because Mark's not that. It's a different.
He's not that guy. You know what I mean?
No,
he didn't have anything to do. What he's doing now had nothing to do with. I mean, thank God. I mean, unfortunately, what happened to all of us who got shafted, but thank God it happened because now we have this. And and I think it's gonna, the first year, it had a sour taste in people's mouth. People, they're involved and this. No, Mark's not involved with anything.
Mark's not going to jeopardize the business he created in Bass Angler Magazine.
Yeah, exactly.
The years of hard work he's done with that to do something stupid on this tournament trail. He's just not going to do it. I mean,
no.
And that was a lot of things I heard too from a lot of guys. I just want to see how the first year played out before I fish it next year. Guys, it's a completely different entity. Yeah, he bought some of the stuff that they used before, but he's buying tools to do his job and put on a hell of a tournament series. You know what I mean?
And even the money that he used to buy that stuff got most of it, I'm assuming, went back to paying us.
Yeah.
That money that he paid for that equipment, it just turned around and came back to some of the anglers. Like I know once he purchased that, I got a check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the first year I figured you'd get a lot of, guys sitting on
naysayers.
Yeah. And then once it kind of took place, I see it getting bigger and bigger as we go.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially for us kayak guys, right? Like when would you ever think you'd have a multiple page article on some us goofy guys out there fishing kayak tournaments, right? Like every
with these wannabe boats.
Yeah, right. These little plastic baby boats. You know what I mean? Like all of us have had. They've done articles on kayak fishing. They've done the articles on the tournaments that we've had, and they're giving us exposure on a national level through a magazine. He goes, "Oh, people don't read magazines anymore, but they still go out to, I forgot how many, was it millions of homes or whatever it was that it goes out to every quarter."
Well, not only that, but also on the you could easily read it on the internet too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, how
It's
cool is that
everywhere.
to come home and a magazine show up in the mail and you can open it up and see your face in there, your name, show your kids, look, go on TV, for the pro tour, and you can sit down with your family or somebody at work saying, "Hey, I was just flipping through so and so and I seen you on TV." You know what I mean? Like what he's doing, he's shining the light on the West Coast, where everything's back east and everything over there, good for those guys fishing over here. But, some of the best anglers in the United States have came from the West Coast or are still here, so it's good to have this exposure for us guys who don't want to go do that. You know what I mean? Maybe we do, but we just can't.
Just don't have the means to do it. I mean,
and we could do it here. I could sleep in my bed or be gone for 2 days instead of be across the country for 6-7 months out of the year and fly back and forth. I don't know. I want to be here with my kids. I want to watch them grow. So I could do both.
And another thing, Mark's been out to all of our events. He's had his boat on the water. He's done midday updates with the camera. He's taken plenty of photos of all the guys fishing. And he doesn't have to do that. He's choosing to do that to help us out and build our brands and bring exposure to what
help grow and everything.
We're doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all on his dime, It's his fuel he's burning, his boat he's putting hours on. He doesn't have to do that for us, but he wants to and he does it. So it shows a lot for what he's doing and what he's done. I mean, he's put his money where his mouth is. He's given us the exposure, given us the chance to grow as a sport, as an angler, as a community. Both whether it be kayaks, boats, So if you guys haven't been on the fence about fishing it, come out fish the Delta this weekend. Just see what it's all about, and you guys won't be disappointed at all.
You're gonna have fun.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of us are in it, because fishing's been a passion, but it's fun. It's fun to go, compete against your buddies and, for bragging rights and maybe win or whatever. I mean, that's what I think a lot of people are forgetting, that, we're out here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Instead of being so serious all the time.
The fellowship that comes with it,
Yep.
Yeah. I've met so many good people through the fishing industry that it's just blows my mind the amount of good people that I've met along the way from tournament fishing.
Hey, so look at this guy with the beard. When I first met this guy at the Thermalito Afterbay, this guy gets out of his truck. He's like, "Hey, what's up to everybody?" And I'm like, looking at him like, who the hell is this dude? I don't even know who this dude is. And look, we're like damn near, we're pretty much best friends, man. I mean, it just goes to show.
It's funny. Yeah, I got another buddy of mine I met out at Folsom fishing, and I was like, "Oh, you were fishing a month long? Oh, you fishing it? Oh, yeah, me too." And it was like, "All right, cool." We hung out and fished together, and then I was talking to him this morning. Or he called on Saturday, and old Shane knew exactly who it was. We're out there fishing on the Delta. Cracked me up. So yeah. But yeah, I'll have a little bit of FOMO this weekend, guys. Unfortunately, Brian, I won't be able to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. Miss out.
Hey, look, Romel got on. Romel's watching us.
Oh, see, I don't see who's watching us. How you doing, Romel?
No, it's because I got on Facebook right now. So
you do. Okay.
I try to comment and keep everyone kind of active. So
I got you. Yeah, man. So that's a long way to go. The Super 60. So you want to kind of explain qualification to get it. So this is boat stuff, guys. Bear with us. We show love to everybody. Yeah, go ahead. Like he's got a whole long list of how to apply, who's available.
Yeah.
Eligible, so word I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Don't quote me on it. I'm still, kind of learning how he goes about the invitation and stuff like that. So the beginning of the Pro Tour, the invites went out to everybody who fished the Apex series. So they got the first wave, and then he sent out invitations to, I believe, the top 10 at MLF, the top 10 at One Bass, and a top 10 in another series. I can't think of it. So that's what formed the Pro Tour for the first year. Now he's doing the Super 60. And I believe, like I said, don't quote me on that. I believe he's doing kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
where he's kind of opening it up and sending invites to the guys, who are already in it. And then I'm not 100% sure if he's sending it to the top 10s of the other major organizations. But then
he's got it as participating entire season of the Elites, MLF, BBT, NPFL, FLW Tour, MLF Invitationals, Apex Tour, previous pro AOI and any pro am circuit, any single pro level major wins, 3 or more top 10 pro level AOI finishes in any season, and then verifiable pro level career earnings of 50,000 or more. So he's kind of got, looks like he broke it down of, I'm guessing in priority is the way I'm reading it, on how to get into it. But yeah, so he's going to have some serious names on the roster next year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I've seen some of the new faces that are coming in, and it's gonna be a difficult one. I mean, there's a lot of good guys that are coming over. There's already, the guys that we fish against right now are hard to beat. But I think there's 30 of us right now. Now we're gonna double that with guys from all over who are extremely good. So
yeah.
It's going to be real interesting. I'm real interested to see how it's going to play out. Because, I mean, he's got some of the best guys, if not the best guys in the West Coast signing up for this thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so the whole reason that I got involved with this format is it's real refreshing to do. Like we were talking about earlier, it's, you have 2 ways of making it to the top 10, through keeper count and through weight. And we basically take top 5 keeper count or scorables, and then top 5 in the weight after 2 days. Top 10 goes out on Sunday. The weights are 0. If I could squeak in 10th place, I still have a shot to win. Nobody's running away with anything. And there's no practice. We have an off limits period, no information, no practice, no nothing. It's just show up and go, and you fish the conditions that you're given. So it's an even playing field for everybody. Nobody's out there. You don't have retired guys out there just beating it up every single day, figuring out where the schools are at, what they're eating. So time off of work for us guys that are still getting after it. It's just way more refreshing than the traditional take a whole week off of work and practice all week and be away and dealing with all that. So it's televised. It's, the media coverage that we get is top notch. So it's great. I think it's going to be a good year next year for sure.
It's good too that these fisheries don't have all the pressure on it. I mean, like you guys are going with the After Bay here pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very big.
No.
And you put 30 guys out there for a week, it's not going to fish very good after that,
Yeah.
It's great because it really lets people see what those fisheries truly are made of too,
Mm-hmm.
So
and it shows, how quickly some anglers can adapt.
Yeah.
To
exactly.
That's the other thing, is what I like to look at is, who could just show up and just, instant, because we could see, throughout the day through the leaderboard, kind of like with same thing you guys do with the kayak. with Tourney X. So, I mean, I tend to not like to look at it unless I'm really whacking them. If somebody's, if I'm not doing that great and I'm looking at the scoreboard and these dudes are just racking them up, then I'm really going to panic mode. So I try not to look at it too much.
Yeah, I think that's all of us.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see who could just show up to a lake, especially if you've never been there, and just figures it out like that and just catching them right out the gate. So
now, do you guys have
part of it.
So like the keeper count, right? So do you have, if you got your 5 big ones in the live well, do you have to submit those photos right away, or do you guys sandbag a little bit and kind of hold those ones back, or do you take the photos and not submit it right away? I mean, is there any kind of gamesmanship like that going on?
No. So in the rules, when you catch a scoreable, you have to take a picture right then and there and try to submit it at least. You know what I mean? You have, if you don't have service or whatever.
Yeah.
But all the photos are time stamped or whatever. So you have to at least film it before you can make another case.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they had let you guys get away with a little bit of sandbagging or not.
No.
There's
Yeah.
been a few guys, I mean, and in the kayak scene, so everybody kind of, it's same with you guys. Everybody knows who you guys are, right? Each other are. Some guys like to sandbag a little bit, so people can't be like, oh, so-and-so is racking him, and then they find out where he's at and be like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow I'm going to beat him there or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some guys like to hold it back so that way, everybody, the whole tournament doesn't know it. They're over there wrecking them. People start encroaching on them. It's one way I've looked at it. Max, you know what sandbagging is.
Max, you know what sandbagging is, dude.
So, Mr. Myers asked, what 5 lures would you use right now if you had a tournament this weekend? John, I talking Delta. Let's go Highland Reservoirs. No, he's not thinking about the Delta. He's thinking about Highland Reservoir. We're not going to make it that easy on these guys.
If I had to go out this weekend to Highland Reservoir?
If you had to go to like Comanche or Pardee or Maloney's or something, what would you throw? Mother Lode Lake.
Have a jig tied on, absolutely. Some sort of a top water, either whopper plopper or spook. A Nico rig.
Mm-hmm.
Underspin. Was that 4? 3?
4.
That's 4. All right, I got a top water. I got a jig. They're eating a jig. Seems like everywhere, so that's mandatory. Yeah. Probably a crankbait or a chatterbait. Chatterbait's my deal. I love throwing a chatterbait. So if I can show up to a lake and catch them on that, I'm throwing it. But number one, if I had to give you the absolute number one, it would be a jig. But those would be my top 5.
Nice.
That's just pretty good choices right there.
Heck yeah.
I always try to start out with reaction because I'm I like to fish fast. I'm a reaction type of guy. So if I can catch them on the reaction, then I won't really get into anything else. But
sure,
it seems like in the morning I'm throwing reaction a lot, and then when it slows down, the jig is just like number 1. I like fishing deep because I don't get to do it out here. So
yeah,
any chance I have to
I
go
love
out
fishing deep
on
too.
a lake or something, then I like to explore.
Somebody said the spoon bite might be good at Maloney's right now. That'd be fun. I can't wait for that. I'm not gonna say where. Shane knows where. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen very soon. Somebody named Damien's probably gonna run away with that tournament on a spoon.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's gonna be in South Carolina fishing.
Yep.
Oh, he's not gonna be there.
Nope.
Man.
Someone was at Pardee, I think today, and they were catching them out in the middle of the freaking lake with spoons.
Nice.
So it's already starting.
I love it.
Spoon
You
bite.
created an animal. You created an animal last year, Shane. I hope you know that.
I know, man. Don't you love the spoon bite?
Between you and the Damien on the flutter spoons in Oklahoma, that was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you guys.
You throw a spoon much, Nick?
Yeah, I was actually just up at Berryessa with the family, and me and my buddy Zach were out there fishing the bridge pilings, throwing spoons. So yeah, if I could get on a spoon bite, I'm definitely all about it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So much
So when
fun.
that thing flutters
Oh,
down, you
God.
just feel the slack line just boom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you hook
definitely-
into two at one time.
Yeah, you got the top hook on the little secret top hook on top.
Yep.
I don't know if that's too much secret anymore.
I
Although
like to think of it as
I won't divulge what hook I've been told to run, and I did buy a few of them. I have not used them yet. I'm waiting for it, but I've seen what happens with them. They're pretty damn good. I like it.
well, now you got to tell us.
You open a can of worms now, dude.
Man.
You open a can of worms, man.
Throw that out there and just
I'm going to. I can't
hooks,
throw out other people's juice, man. Like you would never talk to me again. But yeah, dude. I mean, you guys.
It's just doc talk, anyways, James.
I
And
know,
you just
right?
fell for it, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
got you.
That's right. That's right. Go watch Taz's videos. He's got stinger hooks on his. That's all I gotta say, right?
It's gonna get a lot of views on YouTube after this.
Taz always gets good views, man. That guy's a hammer. I miss that dude. He needs to get out here and fish again. So yeah, what else you got? You got Thermalitos coming up.
Got Thermalito in a couple
Final
weeks.
event for the Pro Tour, right?
Yep, final event. And then I have an ABA championship on Clear Lake, I think the following week.
Oh, wait, hold on. Time out. What did you just do last weekend at Clear Lake?
So I posted up that they had a last minute tournament for the ABA. And me and my buddy Zach Thompson, we fished it as a team. And we were doing the Travelers. So she threw it up there. You know, if you need one more event for Travelers points, we're hosting one at Clear Lake. So we were leading Travelers, and then we fell off because we missed a couple events. And so we just decided, you know, we'll go up there and try to make up some ground, maybe lock in the Travelers Angler of the Year. So we went up there last weekend, ended up winning with 26. I'm not sure if that's going to put us on the top spot, but no, the bite up there was definitely good. So we got that championship literally the weekend after Thermalito. And then I go back to Clear Lake again the following weekend for the BAM Final Pro-Am.
Nice.
So, which I'm happy to go there.
That's pretty busy back to back to back there.
Yeah, literally 3 major events back to back. So
Yeah.
At least, well, I won't say nothing. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say anything about Thermalito. Come on, dog, get out of here. Yeah, so that'll be fun. That'll be a good couple little stops there. Then the season with.
Yeah, and then what are our championships? So we have the no entry fee BAM Pro-Am at Berryessa, and then
Another benefit of fishing BAM.
Right?
Yeah. When's the last time they held one of those out here? It's been a long time since we fished for a no entry fee championship. You know.
Yeah, ours is at Berry at the end of this month. So we had.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. I haven't fished Berry in probably 2 years. Kind of looking forward to go back over there.
It's a lot of water.
Yeah.
It definitely looks a lot different. Yeah, it's full.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how often do you take the little ones out with you? As much as you can?
As much as I can. We try to go when I'm not traveling around or fishing team events. We try to go to the lake as much as possible. You know, like we just go out, find a beach, you know, hang out as much as we can. My oldest, he's into catfish right now, so I've been trying to wrangle up some catfish. I told him I'd take him to Clear. Last time I took him to Clear Lake,
just take him to Clear Lake with a chatterbait.
Yeah, dude. So I took him up there, I think last year, and I was like, well, I'll bass fish and I'll throw like chicken livers or something. We'll just go fish rock piles. I'll throw a chicken liver and he could just have it floating out there. I threw chicken liver rock pile, never got touched. I picked up a red 8XD and was smashing them left and right.
Of course. But
And same with the
Those
chatterbait.
catfish are built different at Clear Lake. I'll be
Yeah, they
honest
are.
with you.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. So I was like, well, so I picked up the 8XD and I was hooking them and I just handed the rod and then same up shallow, I was smashing them on a chatterbait. I was probably catching more catfish on chatterbait than bass.
Yeah.
So he has a good time with the catfish.
Yeah, they put up a hell of a fight up there, man. I smoked one on a wobblehead back in July. That thing gave me one heck of a fight. That was a good fish too.
Yeah, they're real aggressive.
Yeah.
I caught one up there on Friday, and it was on a piling and on a reaction bait, and it literally when it ate it, it came out of the water and like darted down. So in my mind, I'm like, that's not a catfish. I got like a 10-pounder on, and then I started feeling the rolling and everything. I was like, ah. It happened to my buddy actually in the tournament too. Zach ended up flicking a jig right up on a piling and just and it came out and just took off. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like an 8 or 9 pounder now. Catfish.
Them catfishers different up there. I don't understand it.
No other lake that I've gone to have I caught catfish that aggressive towards a bass bait, a crankbait, a chatterbait, a spinner, anything like that. It's just up there. Like I don't know why they're so fierce up there, but it's pretty fun.
Maloney's I've caught quite a few catfish just, throwing like a Kitech or, and it's just weird that it's up there at Maloney's that it's happened, but they're not as aggressive as Clear Lake, obviously,
No.
but how about that carp I caught 2 weeks ago?
That's funny.
Freaking A, man. I was at Pardee fishing and it was a slow day and I hooked into one, just thunk, set the hook. It immediately started pulling me in the kayak. And when it came up to the subsurface, all I saw was a bronze. And I was like, oh my God, this is like possible world record smallmouth. Like it literally was just massive. And I had no clue. I mean, I'm sure there's carp in there. I've never really seen, carp. You usually can see carp sometimes sunbathing,
Yeah.
And dude, I finally got that thing up. I was so amped up and it was a freaking 14-pound carp.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know your pain,
Gosh,
dude. I'm like the squawfish master when it comes to
There you
catching those things. I don't care. You could put me on any body of water. I'll find them.
I tend to catch more trout than anything on bass gear.
Oh yeah, you're
quite the trout fisherman. Oh,
yeah.
man.
There's days I think you and I've been out. You've caught 2 or 3 in one day.
Yeah, at Maloney's.
Yep.
It wasn't. Let me tell that story. We were out fishing, pre-fishing Rollins, and I catch this trout, and I'm running my hand on a crankbait,
God.
I'm running my hand down the line to grab the bill, the crankbait. The stupid trout flops. It takes the back hook and digs it right on top of my pinky knuckle. Goes in and out, and I'm yelling at Shane. I say, "Hey, Shane, 'cause my wire cutters were in my front hatch of my kayak. Well, I got to fish. I can't get the treble hook out because it's like, crankbait's tiny and I got big hands, so I'm trying to have enough room to get the hooks out and still hold on to the fish. And I just wanted to cut the hook real quick and deal with the fish,
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Shane, you got your wire cutters on you? He's like, oh, yeah, you got a fish? Cool. I just waves at me and keeps on going.
I just blew him off. I kept going. I didn't hear him.
And so I'm like, well, crap.
I was thinking to myself, man, that freaking James seems pretty disgruntled over there. I was just like he was pissed he wasn't catching fish or he caught another trout or what.
So I'm like, I'm trying to get my regular needle nose pliers out. I'm trying to get the hooks out of the fish's mouth. It flops, gets out of my fingers, and it's just sitting there dangling by my pinky and the hook, right?
Yeah.
So get a hold of it again. It does it one more time, and I finally I had enough of it. I said the kids are gonna eat this one tonight. So we dispatched the trout. Finally got the trout unhooked. And then I had to dig into my front hatch, all the way to the very bottom of it, through all my stuff, and find my good wire cutters, and snip the hook out. And I say, "Oh, dude, what's up, Shane?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Dude, I was asking for some help." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I had no idea."
I didn't even hear him, dude.
He's got a, oh, yeah, I'll see ya.
Yep. Have a good one. I'm like, "Great, thanks for the help, bud. What are friends for?"
Oh, man.
So, any advice for these yahoos that are fishing the Delta this weekend?
Well, if I was going down the Delta this weekend, frogging, obviously, if you could find the right stuff. Punching's been really good. That's probably what I would mainly focus on myself. Tend to get those better bites, in the cheese and the grass and hyacinth. A chatterbait, last time I was out, was working fairly well. The top water, I've been throwing a Chapo a lot around big flats. And, when the tide kind of falls out, and you get a bluegill, I like to throw the bluegill one. It seems like they're eating bluegill and, crawdads right now, which is their main forage. A bluegill colored, anything, wake bait, anything like that in the morning time has been really good. But mainly I would focus on punch and mats. I mean, that I think would be a key player. If you could find the right stuff, which is hard to do right now, depending on what area of the river you're fishing, if it's been sprayed or whatnot. But I think that'll be the key bites right there is a top water in the morning, and then just picking up that punch rod and just going to work.
So I'm trying to find it. Where's that? All right. So our approved launch ramps, just so you guys are aware: B&W, Big Break, Holland, Kings Island, Paradise Point, Rivers End, Russo's, Tower Park. So launch is at 5:30. Lines in is at 5:30. Lines out is at 3. Off the water by 3:30. Photos submitted by 4. And the awards are at Boat Pros in Brentwood. 85% payback. I'm sorry. They pay back 85%. $250 Tackle Warehouse gift card. Bring a receipt. Every $50 you spend, you get one ticket to go into that. I'm sorry, these dogs are driving me crazy. Get out of here. Come on. Yeah, so registration closes the 26th. Or I'm not sorry, the 6th, which is Friday. So yeah, that's our info we got on this one, guys. Like I said, if you haven't fished one yet and you've been wanting to, get on there and go do it. Don't be a slacker. Delta's fishing pretty good right now. Shane and I got out last weekend. Found a little something. I'm not going to go into that because you guys got to go find it.
I like how they let you guys launch at multiple locations. That's
well, we can
cool.
only really cover on the Delta. It's tough because the tides, it slows us way down if you're going against it, and you got wind going with against the tide as well. Then we're limited to 10 miles a day, 12 miles a day. Lakes I've done 15, but you really get stupid when you do that much.
Yeah, we probably put in about 6 miles on Sunday. I mean, we didn't travel a
super
ton,
far.
but
I didn't go as far as I wanted to go, but I mean,
well, at least it spreads you guys out. You know what I mean? You're not
we're not on
river,
top of each other.
What I mean?
Yeah,
a lake or something, you guys could disperse out, but on the river and stuff like that, it's he could be over here, he could be over here. Or you have a nice stretch you found, where you're not dying to get all the way over there and fish for 10 minutes, and then.
Well, that's usually the trick at like lakes, when we have a single launch. I mean, usually everyone kind of on top of each other. Not as much as it used to be, just because now majority of us have motors, but still at that. I mean, you're still kind of on top of each other.
Hey, some of them kayaks
yeah.
fly, dude. I was up there at Trinity when you guys were out there, and a couple of them dudes were moving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was driving down the lake right when you guys were all coming out, and they were just woo, woo, woo.
Yep.
I think, depending upon the hole, I think where Mel got one of the PWR up to like 7 miles an hour to 300 on it. Damien, being as little as he is with that 1103, he gets like 6, probably 6.5.
Yeah, he's gone.
But he also carries like the amount of tackle that boy carries. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It cracks me up. He's the only guy that I know who could open up a tackle box and have it like everything just thrown in there. And he's looking for one specific thing, and he acts like he finds it, but it's not what he was looking for at all. And he's like, it was the next best thing. He ties it on and just starts catching fish with it.
Yeah. He's supernatural. He's supernatural.
Yeah. It cracks me up. And especially once I traveled with him and I realized how organized he is. But every time I watch one of his videos, I'm like, oh my God, that just cracks me up. I'm like, was that really the bait he was looking for? Or was that his second or third just because that's what he found? Oh, man.
So, Nick, what is your favorite low tide bait to throw? Low tide.
I'm a puncher.
Okay.
Hands down, that's my all-time favorite way to catch them. Yeah, if I'm doing good or if I'm fishing a tournament, I'm 90% of the time I'm either throwing a chatterbait or I'm punching. Those are the two baits I would probably throw absolutely the most out of anything. I just love, because I like jig fishing too, and I think it springs from punching the river. You know, I like the heavy hook set, the battle, the whole 9 yards. It's just intriguing to me. It always has been. You know, it's more contact. You know, I just love when you punch through a mat and it just goes, and you just give them wood. You know, that's great.
Great. That violin playing.
Yeah, and then it's such a good way to catch big ones.
Yeah.
Are you more of a parabolic rod kind of guy, a little drag, or are you a broomstick and you're hammered down?
I used to. So when I first started, I thought that's what you needed. You know, is it just a absolute broomstick to get these fish out? Over the years that I've kind of, I don't want to say perfected, but, you know, really learned the whole ins and outs of punching. A parabolic rod is absolutely key. And so I'm with Phoenix. I use a 805 Recon Elite, and I use that for about 1.25 ounces to 1.5 ounces. I'll rarely throw 1.5 ounces. And then I use the Recon Elite 804, which is an absolute money rod for a 1 ounce. And, you know, if you look and, you know, I do videos and stuff like that, and I'll look in the videos, and when I set the hook, the whole rod bends. You know, it's not just the tip or a fraction of the rod, it's the whole thing. So when you get a hook in those fish, if you don't turn their head right away and get them coming up, you know, and they start digging, that's a big hook to start, you know, making a hole. So you want to have something that has give. I mean, my drag's completely wenched down, 65-pound braid. You know, if you're using a broomstick, there's no give. You know what I mean? You don't have nothing's giving, only that fish's mouth. So when I finally figured that out, you know, after trial and error with everything, I landed a lot more fish, you know, with the more parabolic rods. I mean, some of that 804, you could probably throw a 10XD on it, you know, 8XD. So
Are you more of like a super heavy, like hook style, more of, or like you know, Gamagatsu has like a super heavy cover, heavy cover. Are you throwing a little lighter wire still, like a heavy cover? No. Super
duty, heavy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I want that thing panned. I don't want it bending. I've had, you know, prior to, you know, experimenting with hooks throughout the years, I've had fish bend hooks. I had one in an MLF I hooked. and it just bent it out. So I was a heavy gauge stout hook.
Gotcha. That's why you want parabolic bend, fellas.
Some got to get.
Yeah. And
And you don't want it to be the hook in that fish's mouth. You know, you got to have
No.
some play when they're doing their thing down there. So
yep.
James, what's
Cool.
your length on your punch rod?
Oh, what is that one? Man, it's not 8 foot. It's like a 7. You're 7'6", maybe 7'7", 7'8", somewhere around there. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I hardly ever look at it. This is Dobbins Federambonos champion punch and flip rod. I don't remember what it is
Yeah, I have
off the top of my head.
I have the 8, I think it's an 80 something, and then a 795. But
I'll tell you what, though.
It's just so long on a kayak, though. You know what I mean?
What I've been playing with lately is for flipping and I've been using a 1 ounce weight on it. Is that St. Croix Tournament Legend? It's a 7.6. It's their flipping rod. Absolutely love that thing. It's a heavy, moderate fast, so it's got a nice tip to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I'm really enjoying flipping. It's a great swim jig rod too. I love that. That thing's been pretty good. Kind of playing with that one lately, so I do like that rod. It's got a really good. So I was getting them in the toolies at Clear Lake, little, big heavy hook, and it was putting a little bit of a waller in their face, but I mean, got them out. I don't think I lost any of the toolies doing it, so that's a really, really good parabolic rod.
Yep, that's the key.
Yep. Well, anything else, Shane? You got anything else for Nick?
Nope.
If you guys have any questions, drop something in the comments real quick. I've had Nick on for about an hour, so we'll let him go back to his kids. And he's been working all day, so.
Surprised they've been so quiet this whole time.
Yeah. Mine are all out right now. I got these furry ones bothering me right now. So, yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, thank you, Nick, so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, man. And good luck. All you guys out there fishing this weekend on the Delta. If you're sitting on the couch, you're watching this, get out there, dude. Have some fun. The bite's good out there. Just bet your buddy that you're going to beat him. That's it. Go out there, meet some people, have a good time.
Mm.
Hey, you know what? I can't do that because every time I bet that guy right there, he kicks my butt. Dude, we'll go out like for a fun fishing day. Let's just put 20 on it, all right? Every time I lose to Shane. Every time.
Yeah, but on defense, you go tournament day, you always kick my ass. So
not always. Always.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a few.
I just win practice fishing.
Yeah, it's not even practice fishing. It's fun fishing on one of my favorite lakes.
Yeah,
we'll go out to Pardee together. Let's put 20 on it. Let's buy or put lunch on it. Like, all right.
First fish, I blow up a 4.7 smallie.
Yeah, every time I bought that man lunch, fishing Pardee with him, gave up doing it. So, right on, guys. Well, I wish I'd say I see you on Saturday, but I'll see you at Berryessa for our championship. So if you're on the fence for making it, get out there, fish this event, try to get into the top 24.
Yeah, and get signed up sooner than later.
Yeah, make it easy on Bray and all those behind the scenes, getting everybody added. So, all right, guys, we will catch you next week with possibly the winner of the Delta. We'll figure that out.